Happy New Year, and thanks for joining. We want to take a few minutes today to thank you for all of your support over the last year.
They like to say that hindsight is 20/20, so we're going to take a look back at a little bit of a year in review, where we started, how we got here, and celebrate some of the accomplishments that we've had along the way. We started the channel on December 26, 2019. We uploaded some videos. I had some videos that I'd taken a while back. They were shot, in portrait mode. They weren't really ideal for YouTube, but it was just something to kickstart us and get us going. And then over the next week or so, we took some time and shot some additional things, some that are still performing pretty well and some that actually haven't had views since our family probably stopped watching them.
There's probably several of those.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about the things that we learned, the great support that we've got from all of you, where we're headed, and if you stick around to the end, we might even throw in some funny outtakes because we've had a number of those. But we're going to talk next, I think, about kind of how we set our goals, what we thought we were going to accomplish. And I'm going to turn it over to Jason to talk through that, and then we'll get into some more specifics.
When you look at kicking off the channel, we were trying to figure out how would we measure just how successful we were being. And YouTube had a few milestones out there that we decided we'd use as our initial metrics. They measure you based on when you get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours. So we gave ourselves 18 months and said, let's give this channel a go. And for 18 months, let's see if we can get to that milestone. Well, things took off slow, but then picked up momentum, and we actually hit those milestones almost exactly 9 months later in late August. So it was a pretty significant ramp up for us, and pretty excited to have hit those goals.
Yeah, so you are all part of that. Those of you that are returning, thank you. Those of you that are new to the channel, hopefully you'll continue to watch us and participate in the success that we have going forward. I wanted to share just a few of the stats that get us pretty excited and are going to keep us moving into 2021. We've generated, I think, roughly 90 or so videos, give or take a few when this airs. We have about, I think I looked at it, about 800 minutes of content. And here's the cool thing. That 800 minutes has been watched nearly 100 minutes of view time. So thank you. I mean, that's a lot of time watching the Hardy Brothers outdoors. We've had fun making the content. We hope that you've enjoyed it. There's been over 3,700 likes on the content, over 500 shares, and I think comments. We've got nearly 400 comments. So the engagement's been good. In other people's channel terms, maybe that's not super exciting, but for us, we're a couple brothers that decided to throw together a channel and celebrate the things that we enjoy. Our family thinks we're crazy, but we're going to show them, right? And they're all going to want to be a part of this. So more to come on that.
Exactly. One correction on your numbers, Josh. You didn't give us enough credit. You said 100 minutes of view time. We're actually closing in on 1 million minutes of view time. So what did you say? 400 minutes of content?
Nope. So maybe we should shoot that over. So we got nearly 1 million minutes of view time from all of you, and we've shot about 750 to 800 minutes of content. So when you add up those 90 videos, they make up about 750 to 800 minutes, which have been watched for nearly 1 million minutes. I can't believe I said 100.
Yeah, way undershot.
Under promise and over deliver, I guess, right? So let's talk about. We've had some big successes, but let's talk about some of the things that we've learned, and we're going to go back and forth here because actually before we do that, let's talk about why we started the channel. And we are two brothers. You can tell we're quite a bit different. I'm taller, he's shorter.
Better looking.
I'm younger, he's older.
Huh?
He thinks he's funny. I actually am. So let's talk a little bit about why we did it. We do have one thing in common. We've both been very driven our entire lives, and we're always looking for something else to augment our lifestyle. We love to do stuff outdoors, and we like to, if we can afford it, have the right tools for the job. So one of the main drivers for me was I was looking for another income stream. You know, how do we turn YouTube? People are out there monetizing YouTube. How do we get a piece of that? But at the same time, since we've had this property, I've learned how to do things that I've never done before. I learned how to trap the beaver out of our pond after a couple of days of watching videos. Anytime I have something that doesn't work, I go check out how to fix on YouTube. And I know a number of you do the same. And then you find gaps, go to fix something and there's no video. So there's an opportunity there. So those two things kind of together made me think, hey, we can do this. People are doing the same things that we do. We enjoy doing it. Let's try that out. So what about you?
Yeah, I think, the very, very selfishly, when Josh said passive income, my thought immediately went to, very little work and some revenue stream coming in. Neither of us really understood the YouTube model at that point of what revenue coming in would mean. And we've learned that it's anything but passive. So, once a video is created and it's out there, it's passive, but there's a lot of work that goes into creating a video. There's a lot of work that goes into creating content that you enjoy. So it's one thing for us to throw stuff out there that's just, us doing something. It's another thing for that to actually deliver value for you, that whether it's entertainment value, instructional value, whatever the case is. So a lot more goes into it than just creating, just videoing what we do. And one of the things we found was, everything we do takes longer when you're videoing it. So, to go out and brush hog a field, we might have, if it's, depending on the size, it's a 30-minute job. When you're setting up cameras, you're moving cameras around, you're getting different angles, you turn that 30-minute job into an hour and 15 minutes if you're lucky. So definitely a lot learned. But the goal was passive income initially, and it slowly has evolved over time.
Yeah, and I'm excited to say I can quit my job if I only got paid a couple dollars an hour or a couple pennies an hour, because we're not making much money at this. So, but the passive idea is the long-term goal. But more importantly, making content that people enjoy and like to keep coming back to watch. So we're excited that we've got over, probably by the time this airs, about 1,700 subscribers in under a year. We'd like to see that grow. So if you haven't hit that like and subscribe and you enjoy our content, please do. Hit that little bell notification so you know when new videos come out. But the other thing that we found was not only does it take longer for content creation, it's hard to hide from your mistakes. And we've actually made it a point not to. We've got a lot of mistakes. And I think one of the things that we pride ourselves on is not being afraid to try new things. We had never run a sawmill before the beginning of this year. We hadn't owned tractors really before 3-4 years ago,
Right.
5 years ago. And we're not afraid to admit that we make mistakes. And actually, more importantly, show those mistakes and hopefully save somebody else from the hazards that maybe they could have caused, or just to say, hey, the wood miser is not starting today. I'm going to figure it out. I don't have the background in a lot of this stuff, but we enjoy learning it. And I saw a great quote the other day that said, what was it? If you
Really had an impression on you, didn't it?
It did. So we'll put an image up here, and you'll appreciate as much as I did. Basically, say if you're not learning, if you know it all, then you're not learning.
If you understand everything, you're not learning. Something along those lines.
There you go. It was on another channel, and it was off of a fortune cookie. So, as you can tell, my wisdom, coming from a fortune cookie, it aligned very much with my goals in life and what I've been trying to teach my children. So, who knew that the source to all wisdom was in the fortune cookie. So let's talk a little bit about what was most successful, or a couple lessons that you learned. I'm gonna let you go first, just so I can gather my thoughts here.
Put me on the spot. I think we started off with some videos that were just, as Josh said, just threw up some content we already had with no real thoughts about what that video was delivering. And I think we fairly quickly learned that as we created these videos, we needed to do them with somewhat of a purpose. And one of the first ones that really sticks out in my mind was a John Deere. The thumbnail says "Tough Enough." I was out working on the Habitat Oasis project. I had the John Deere 1025R with me, and I was going to use a variety of attachments that day. I was doing some brush hogging, I was doing some mowing, I was doing some tilling. I guess brush hogging and mowing are about the same thing. So I was doing just a variety of projects out there, and I decided to start filming it. And I really just took the opportunity to talk about why that tractor works for me, where it works, where it doesn't work, things I liked and things I didn't like. And it was, I won't say it was terribly inspired, but when it came together and we published it, we found that the John Deere 1025R community really responded, that it answered a lot of questions for people that either had equipment or were looking at buying equipment. It answered a lot of questions for them and provided value. And what we've seen is, I think it launched in June. In about 6 months, it's closing in on 30,000 views. So it's being viewed about 5,000 times per month, which completely blew me away to see that level of interest in a topic that it was just kind of capturing my thoughts on the John Deere.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've said from the beginning is, let's be authentic. Let's just do what we do. We're not trying to sell other people's products. We are using them. There's things we like about them, things we don't like about them. They break down, us trying to figure out how to fix them. One of the coolest things that I think happened to me this year was Jason and I were out moving some firewood, some logs from across the road. And I jumped off the tractor and I found a bolt on the ground. And long story short, the bolt came out of the frame of my tractor. We didn't find out what it was immediately. Came back up to the house, started looking around, and there were finger-tight bolts on the frame of my tractor and missing bolts. And they held the front axle onto the tractor. And what we found was this was not an uncommon issue. It was talked about in forums and things, but there was no video. So I made a video. I actually have made 3 videos on the topic now. And we put the video out, I think, in April. And I'd called John Deere, local dealership, and they didn't really, hey, we'll come pick it up. We'll fix it for you. It'll cost you this much money, And I figured out how to fix it myself. But I made a warning to people, because I was seeing that this was an issue. Well, we got a call from John Deere 4 months down the road. Hey, we want to come get your tractor. We want to make it right. We want to take care of this. And I really appreciated it. We made a follow-up video. We've published the official cases so that others can have that. We've been contacted by people. So it was kind of rewarding to actually see that the work that we had done was recognized, and we were saving other people, the trouble, giving them tips on how to mark these bolts. So just, it was something that mattered, that we didn't expect. Yeah. We weren't putting it out to bash John Deere. It was to help the others that had the same tractor. So,
well, in a point of clarification, when Josh says John Deere reached out to him that they wanted to fix the tractor, they didn't reach out because Josh had called them and reported the problem. They reached out because the video had gotten enough traction on YouTube that it caught their eye. And that, to me, was what was really impressive, was 2 guys in southeastern Ohio that threw up a 15-minute video about the problem they're having and letting others know about it. It caught the eye of John Deere and made them realize, this is a widespread issue. We need to make it right, and contacted Josh to deal with it. So that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would have happened without the groundswell of viewings from the 1025R, because the first one's hitting 30. One of the second ones was about 17,000, and the other one I think is about 14 or 15,000. and I know there's other people out there blowing numbers away compared to what we're doing, but hey, we were celebrating the first 1,000 views
Right.
on a log splitter video that's now 5,000 or whatever. And what we've also noticed was seasonality. So making content that matters, when people are actually doing the things that they might search on. So that log splitter video did pretty good back in the winter of 2020, and then again this fall and winter again. And so we're seeing some relation there. I think you've had a couple videos that way as well.
Yeah, we've seen it with our habitat management content as well, which makes perfect sense when you think about it. But part of it requires that you plan far enough ahead that your content is ready when the viewers want it. So, come spring, people will be planting, people will be using herbicides to prep their plots. You've got to have content ready so that when people want a bag seeder and they're researching bag seeders, there's a video out there ready for them. You can't produce it in June after the fact. It's got to be out there ahead of time to really be helpful to people. So we've definitely seen that around the habitat management, that it's very seasonal, the activities, and you've got to have the right content for the time of year and what people are looking for at that point.
Yeah. So, and you guys let us know what works and what doesn't. We see it in views. Sometimes it takes a while to gain traction. Sometimes it's somebody else's video that starts referring to our video. I had a wood miser video that was just dragging, and I thought it was, informative and useful. And it slowly just chugged along, and then all of a sudden some new videos came out that referenced that one every time. So that's been pretty cool. And one of the other things I think I've enjoyed is, we've gone beyond YouTube. We've got Instagram. I think we've got over 800 and some followers on Instagram. Got some content that's doing pretty well out there, but we've met a lot of people that we follow and that we've engaged with. So we've done some collaboration with a number of channels. We've actually been invited to do some podcasts. And so, the community of content creators, in addition to those that have been watching it, has been, fun to engage with and learn from. Again, we go online to learn, to be entertained, research. So all of that has been pretty rewarding, and we're looking forward to seeing that continue to grow.
Yeah, the community has been really interesting. When we first started, I was listening to, Josh mentioned the podcast that we've been a part of. I had been listening to a podcast, the Habitat Podcast, and had some exchanges with Jared and Brian about what they were doing, and we started talking about our channel and the projects we were working on the Habitat Oasis, and kind of invited myself onto the podcast to talk about what we were doing. Have really enjoyed not only working with those guys, but there's a definite habitat management community that we've gotten really well connected with. I did that back in, I want to say February, March of 2020. Josh was on the podcast in this fall to talk about the 7-point that he got with his bow. So it's been really interesting, and for each of the topics that we're involved in, there's definitely a community around it. So we've gotten to know a lot of people, and it's a great opportunity for us to share our experiences with them as well as learn from them. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah, I'd say the community, we've got a number of folks who have collaborated on some hunting gear videos with us, Fly Guys Outdoors, Beards Creek Adventures, Living the Northern Life, and Habitat Managers TV.
Cairns.
Cairns Creek is someone that we're going to be doing some collaboration with. He's got a wood miser, lives here in Ohio, and Jeremy, he seems like a pretty cool guy. We enjoy watching his channel. So those are the folks that we've had some direct dialogue with. I will say, starting the channel, I also had some inspiration. If you haven't watched Outdoors with the Morgans, Mike Morgan, he's got I think about 191,000 subscribers, and does a lot of the similar stuff that we do and more. Out of the Woods, Nathan in the sawmilling has been pretty cool out of Tennessee. And then, I watch a lot of wood miser stuff. So the Northwest Sawyer, I think his name's Jason. He's fun to watch as well. So, as much of the viewing that I do is to learn about some of the stuff that we're doing, but also video editing and stuff. If you want to go back and laugh at some of the video quality, go back to the beginning. It's getting better, still not great, but we had never edited a video before December, so that's been an entire lesson. I go to my phone and think about all these pictures I've taken. If I'd have just taken some video clips, I could use that, that B-roll stuff. So it's totally changed how I document, day to day and that sort of thing. So.
And if you talk about getting a laugh out of some video, Josh talks about the quality. There's also some content that we created. He mentioned earlier trying to be authentic, and we're everyday guys. That everything doesn't go perfect every time we get the camera out, or not even when we have the camera out. Every time we do a project. But every now and then the camera catches it. And a couple videos I had that I did not expect the reaction that I got. I thought they were funny. I didn't think they were that funny.
You didn't think they were that funny, and they were funny.
Yeah. But I had one called Watering Fiasco. I've got a cousin who I think he's 3 years old now. I think he turns 4 this coming year. That I think he's put 100 views on that one because he finds Watering Fiasco so entertaining. The other one was supposed to just be a simple, I got a new hunting blind, I'm going to take it out of the box and I'm going to show it to you. It turned into an epic fail as I struggled to set it up, and I captured a lot of that footage that could have easily gone to the cutting room floor, but I decided to share a little bit of it, and it certainly caught some people's attention for entertainment. I think Josh has his own entertainment versions as well.
I'm pretty entertained by his. I don't think he realized how funny he was. So if we're thinking about switching this over to a comedy channel for 2021, let us know what you think about that down in the comments. I think if the camera were rolling all the time, the amount of mistakes and goof ups, there's always something there. Not to say that we're not doing stuff right, but yeah, just think about if you had a camera following you all the time. So I've got a wood miser fail. A lot of my wood miser content so far, I haven't got to use the mill as much as I'd like to, but there's mistakes. I'm showing them. It's interesting to see. You get some people calling you, the Three Stooges that produced that video, and other people are like, "Thanks for showing your mistakes. We really appreciate it." So we're going to keep showing them. We hope we make less of them because that means we're learning from them. But this video has gone significantly longer than we anticipated, which is not uncommon. And I don't know how much of it will cut. But one of the things I wanted to make sure that we called out was the diversity of our content. If you read the tips for building a YouTube channel, it's pick a narrow niche and go hard on that, and you'll actually have more success. Well, the outdoors is big and broad, and we like to say the outdoors or outdoors is always in season because we like to be outdoors year round. And I know it looks like we're sitting in a garage right now, and we are, but the door's open, so we're kind of outdoors. It's cold right now here in Southeast Ohio, but we found that we would be bored if we made this about just one thing. I call myself a serial hobbyist, lifelong learner, whatever you want to call us. We love to learn new stuff, try new stuff, fail at it, learn from it, and the Habitat Oasis management project is a huge science project for us. It's the 80-acre strip mine that we're returning to native habitat. We got an entire playlist on that. We're failing, but we've actually had a huge success, which we'll just kind of tease you with a little bit here, because the next video coming out on Monday is or Sunday. No.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday. Yes. It's our Habitat Oasis project update, and it's going to talk about mentioned in there or covered in there will be an award that we received this year that was completely unexpected, but felt pretty good to be recognized for the stuff that we were doing. So that's coming. As Josh talks about the diversity of what we do, one of the things that as diverse as our interests are, there's a lot of crossover between them. So where we've got the Habitat Oasis project, which is really about habitat management, making the environment better for wildlife, we can't do that without the John Deere tractors. So the efforts that we've got going back there include the tractors. When it's time to get out the sawmill, those logs don't drag themselves into the sawmill and don't load themselves. So we've got the tractors loading the sawmill. We're working on some projects, kind of working out the details of a big project that'll use the mill. And I don't know if you want to talk about that. It's kind of your idea.
Yeah, he made it my idea so that when I'm struggling to try to complete it, he can be like, "Hey, that was your idea." No, last year we actually milled 250 stakes to do a tree planting back on the Habitat Oasis with the mill. So instead of buying wooden stakes, we milled 250 to put the trees and bushes in that we did. That video hasn't gotten a lot of success, so I guess milling sticks is not as exciting as milling slabs. But what we're going to do this year, and what we're going to try to do before spring, we're calling it the 50 House Project. That's pretty audacious, I think. Let me be a little more clear. It's the 50 Birdhouse Project. As Jason mentioned, our goal is to improve the habitat. We put out some birdhouses this year. We've seen a tremendous increase in residency of some of those birds. There's no vacancy in the birdhouses. And we want to try to attract some more species. I'd like to do some owls, maybe kestrels, a few other types of things, but largely they're going to be for songbirds. So we're going to fell the trees. Part of that is also part of a crop release within the timber stand. So we'll drop some pine trees, we'll mill the pine trees, we'll cut them, and the goal is that every one of these birdhouses takes one board. So each one can be produced from a single board. And then installation. And that's probably the biggest challenge that I see coming is installing them. I think cutting them, milling them, building them is going to be all right. But anyway, the goal there is to show the full process, leverage all the tools that we have, and do something good at the same time. So cool stuff. We're sitting in this pole barn that I built this year. It's got a 2-bedroom cabin upstairs, and down here it's going to be kind of a shop. So we've got a ton of projects related to that that'll be in 2021. What else do we've got coming that you can think of?
We're still working on our project list for the Habitat Oasis project, but we do have at least, I say 20 trees on order. What Josh doesn't know is that I ordered another 20. So we've got 40 trees. We've got a few trees that haven't made it in the ground this fall that'll be overwintered at home. So, come spring when things thaw and we can plant, we've probably got 150 trees to put in the ground between stuff we have left over and stuff we've already ordered. More native warm season grasses to plant, some switchgrass. We've recently partnered with or started discussions with Pheasants Forever, and we're looking at doing some projects with them. So the list, every time I go hunting and I just have time to sit and look at the landscape, my list of projects, it changes. What I planned on doing gets tweaked, and things I hadn't thought of get added to the list. So there's no end in sight to the projects.
Yeah, the list is long. It's been growing every year. Lots to do. And we're looking forward to sharing that content with you, continuing to hone our skills of storytelling and sharing. We are looking to increase. We were kind of haphazardly putting out content. We're now moving to, a Sunday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yep, 3 days a week.
3 days a week we'll be publishing videos. And we'll see how that goes, but I think we can handle 3 a week into the future here. And again, really appreciate all of you joining. We kind of talked about what's the purpose of this, and we wanted to share with those of you that are watching. So thank you for those of you that are still hanging on. For those of you that aren't, well, you're not here. So we'll just talk to the rest of you that are here. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, we got some awesome content coming. We see some big things coming this year. As Jason mentioned, we're going to announce our award on Monday, and we think there's some other big things brewing for the year. So any final thoughts from you before we wrap?
Not a whole lot other than just a big thank you. We really appreciate the views, the engagement. Share with your friends. One quick thing that we did learn is hitting that like button, hitting that notification button, the bell, so that you get notified when we put out new videos. The likes, the comments, the subscribes, they really make a difference with YouTube. It makes a difference in whose videos they show. So anything you can do, for those of you that are already subscribed and doing those things, thank you very much. For those of you who haven't done it yet, if you got a minute, hit those buttons for us, because it really makes a difference. It helps drive our success, and our success is really dependent on the viewers. No matter what we do, it ultimately comes down to how you react to it. So that's all I got. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. We're having a great time, and we hope you're enjoying following along with us.
Yeah, and real quick, a couple of shout outs here, because we've got some folks who comment a lot and have been with us from the beginning. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Rachel, Brian, Jeff, Jim, and Dylan. And you know who you are, so thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. You don't always agree with us, but you seem to still support us. So we do appreciate it, and we're looking forward to a great 2021. Thanks a lot. Get yourself outdoors. Remember,
outdoors is always in season.
And there's a season for everything, and we're planning on being outdoors, sharing what we're doing. So thanks a lot.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
From the top. All right, this one's going to be better. Yep.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jason.
That's how it starts.
All right.
Hi, and welcome back. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jason.
All
right,
over here.
Here we go. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jason.
And I'm Josh, and we're the Hardy Brothers Outdoors. All right, so we're out here on the Habitat Oasis. You're mouthing the words, man.
What I'm going to do is mouth whatever you're saying.
Yeah, you might want to work on that.
I should have worn my mask.
Say that hindsight is 2020. Is 2020. It is 2020. It is 2020. Okay, so overall, very happy with this blind. The setup and takedown is a breeze. Just push on it, it pops in. So I'm gonna pop in the top, you push down on it, walk around, push in each side. There you go, I think that was 20 seconds. So maybe 30 seconds. So let's see how fast it goes back together. So I'm gonna bring it out. It's got a nice carrying case for it. Bring it out, let everything kind of fall to the sides. Find the top. It's got a hook on there. Pull it up. And I'm having as much problems as Jason had. All right, let's do that again.
I freaking love it.
Happy New Year. Thanks for joining.
How about
Here we go.
welcome back.
Yeah.